Hey Tony, were you on the call last night, Tony?
I came on about 20 minutes late, but I was on it.
Gotcha. So you heard the part. It kind of reminds me
Oh,
of
hello.
Fernando.
Hey, what's happening, brother? You were finishing up something?
Nah, I was just starting something. So go ahead, rock and roll, man.
Awesome. Thank you very much, my man. Welcome, everyone. My apologies. It is 8:31. I am 1 minute late. That is an impact on you and your commitment to these calls. I would like to restore integrity and make sure I continue to survive by 8:55. Good morning. Welcome.
We forgive you, bro.
I appreciate it, Tony. Thank you. It means a lot. You know that integrity is a pivotal part of what we do here and in life in general. So thank you for acknowledging. Welcome, everyone.
I don't know. Verizon said 8:30. I think you're on time, brother.
Okay. That's awesome. Great rising, everyone. Welcome to our Unblinded Sales Mastery Morning Huddle, where we talk every single morning from 8:30 to 9 o'clock a.m. Eastern Time about the fun and excitement of exponentially growing your sales. So many beautiful things happening. Yesterday's Q&A was just, as this millennial will say, content bomb after content bomb. Sean jumped in and did some incredible work. He jumped in this morning and is at a level 9.999 level of passion for the impact he's doing on the world. So with that, I want to check in. Sean, are you here with us? All right, so let's give Sean a few more minutes to jump in. I am so curious, to anyone that was on the Q&A last night, Tuesday at 8 o'clock, would you like to share in 60 seconds, because I know Sean's jumping in real soon, so a nice short share. What was present for you? What became available? What were your thoughts on yesterday's Q&A session? Anyone?
Hey, Fernando, I'll finish what I was about to say, because it was about the Q&A. So,
Awesome.
So the last thing that you guys went over on the Q&A was the box of truth, and it was only mentioned really briefly in the module. So I was curious exactly what that is, and especially when he said it, your eyebrows perked up and you were like, I hear that a lot. So it's something that I felt was like extra credit. So I wanted him to and what he said is that people live inside their own truth. And there's two ways to view the truth, either subjectively or objectively. And he explained that subjective is what it means to me, or what it means to the person that we're in this content trying to sell. And it usually falls into a limiting belief. And the objective truth is what it means to, quote unquote, normal people in society. So getting people to say yes to you is actually showing them and moving them from a subjective truth to the objective truth. And I think doing that is by highlighting the possibility of their dream not happening and having to confront them, meaning to help them move through that pain, not avoid that pain, and create a new agreement, a new agreement formation around this new truth rather than the truth that they were telling themselves prior to. So that was really present to me last night.
Yeah, hey Jay, it's Sean. I heard the entire thing. Thank you for that. And it goes further. So thank you for that awesome question. Remembering that our subjective truth, we have a choice about. We can choose to believe whatever we want. And the underlying question supporting our subjective truth is, how does it serve our future interest? How does it serve our future interest? So if you think about, we're going to have beliefs about some things that it's hard to objectively measure. Like, what is it? What's the amount of money that Jay Levine or anybody else on this phone call can ultimately make in their life? And what will it cost at your optimal level of mastery in terms of time and energy and upside downside consequences? That's something that even with the formula and the highest level of mastery is not easy to accurately predict, or it's impossible to accurately have a precise number. So what our choice is about what we believe about that is something that we have to ask ourselves subjectively, right? Because it's going to be subjective. What is the value of believing this? So let's say that your belief structure is the place for you to end up, in your life is making $50 million a year and building a net worth of, $500 million and having this level of impact. And that you could do it by being consciously imbalanced for 2 years, and then, very consciously imbalanced for 2 years, and then slowly change it, like making all this up. The question is, does that belief support you or not support you? And so when you're in that subjectivity, we're always analyzing, is this something supporting me or not supporting me? What I'm believing, because at some level, there's going to be some subjectivity to it. And so if we're gonna have to speculate and guess a bit, and even if we're off a bit, let's be off in a way that supports our future. I'm not saying believing you can make $50 million a year is the right belief structure to have. Maybe it is, maybe it isn't. It's a deeper analysis, but that's what it means. So the subjective isn't. It is normally absolutely a limiting belief, and at the same time, we could subjectively pick empowering beliefs to move us forward. Make sense?
Tons of sense. Thank you.
Yeah.
I'm going to do a video on it today.
Hey, Sean.
Yeah. Hey, by the way,
Hi.
good morning. And I think it's Y Wednesday. I'm losing track of days again. Is it Y Wednesday, Fernando?
Hello.
Yep.
Yeah,
Today is Wednesday. Is that correct? So
it is Y Wednesday.
Yes, it is 6:30 a.m. and I had a late night last night. You know what's amazing? And again, there's no judgment for what a late night means to people in the world. You know, we never carry judgment, but something I hold in my heart, some gratitude for and some pride for. When I say it was a late night, to most of the world, late night would correlate to, oh, he's out partying, drinking, hanging out. No, it was a late night supporting people and creating breakthroughs, talking about people's dreams, supporting people and confronting challenges. You know, as we ate dinner late and then being in a room with Peter Diamandis speaking about the future of artificial intelligence. And by the way, for all of us at Unblinded, everybody there, where is data? This is a little bonus for today. Where is data on our balance sheet? And I think that Jared has some understanding of this power. Let's into it. But one of the most powerful currencies that we're not measuring and tracking in our process mastery and our asset accumulation is data. Data is currency, and data is an unbelievable currency moving to the future. And many say data is going to be the most valuable asset we could possibly accumulate as time moves forward. Facebook, Google, these companies have certainly figured it out, but the accumulation of data in your business and your life is an incredibly important balance sheet item that virtually nobody pays attention to. So that was an enormous takeaway last night from Peter Diamandis. If we don't know who he is, Harvard-trained medical doctor, teaches in a course in Abundance 360. Joan Greco has attended. I know that she may or may not be on the line today. We were sitting next to each other in the room yesterday, but it was a remarkable conversation about exponentiality. And it was really interesting as I sat there and Peter was discussing what exponential means to him and versus linear. So it was really, really cool because I'd never heard him communicate about that. And, you know, we're always talking about the difference between linear and exponentiality. And he was giving all these incredible examples of how the world is accelerating. For example, in 1920, he went back and looked historically, there were 4 innovations in 1920 and in the world. And one of those innovations was the creation of the Band-Aid. That was one of the 4 innovations of the world, which was pretty amazing, you know, the Band-Aid. At this juncture, in 2020, 100 years later, there are 4 innovations per microsecond. 4 innovations per microsecond in the world. And he had, in 1900, I believe, the average life expectancy, because of the high rates of infant mortality, was 30 years old. 30. The life expectancy today, I believe, is in the high 70s. I forget the exact number. So, and he went through just preposterous numbers of additional examples. So why do I bring this up? I bring it up because if we look at our arduous momentum and abundance stages of life and acceleration, that's what exponentiality is. It's a compounding and multiplying process. A compounding and multiplying process. And if you multiply something, if you multiply, I think it was 1 10 times, it might be 20, you get to 1,000. 10 more times you get to 1,000,000. 10 more times you get to 1,000,000,000. So the acceleration of things like a snowball rolling downhill builds upon itself. And so if all that sounded a bit overwhelming for you, just think of a snowball in a cartoon rolling down a hill and consistently doubling in its size. A tiny snowball in no time, it's chasing, let's say, like Elmer Fudd down a mountain or something, and the snowball goes from being a golf ball size to eventually it's like 20 feet high and building because it has just grown so extraordinarily as it picks up snow rolling down the hill. That's what your process of mastery is like. So just think of, it's not going to be linear. It's not the same effort for merging ecosystems. And when ecosystems come into place, how fast it accelerates. Example, Rob Gill. Rob and I have been working together for a while. He's been studying the formula for a while. So now Rob is sitting in a room, and because, of our relationship and his proximity to me, when he's in this space here, all of these people want to talk to Rob. So the acceleration, because of his expansion of his identity and people watching him in the videos, his identity equals people want to talk to Rob. And people may want to talk to Rob because they want to learn something about me. They want to talk to Rob because they think he's funny and smart and cool in the videos. But they want to talk to Rob. And it's easy for him to meet people and sit down and dramatically and exponentially increase the sales meetings. People also would want to do events and do different things with Rob. And so when he's at a place like this, if it was a year ago, or he just joined this and didn't have the ecosystem merger with me, his ability to create a meeting would be 100 times harder. His ability to convey his unique identity would be 100 times more challenging. And because of where my unique identity stands in the ecosystem, when Rob meets people and I'm doing things on stage, like happened last night, and I'll drop into that in a moment, or doing other things, communicating with people here, I'm expanding myself. As I expand, Rob expands. And frankly, as I expand, you expand. As you expand, I expand. As Fernando expands, I expand. As I expand, Jared expands, and vice versa. So for all of us, one of the incredible benefits of what we're doing together here in expanding, that's why when Jared says together, it's not a joke. It's not just a silly thing. It's literally the ecosystem growing. So last night, I had the unique privilege and opportunity, which in this Why Wednesday, we talk about why being the emotional fuel. I cried at least 3 times last night. And I said this on the Q&A, but some people may not have done the Q&A, and I'll get into it a little bit more. I had the unique opportunity to be asked by Jen Connolly, Tony Robbins' publicist. Sage called me if I would support and help. Scott Humphrey, Sage's brother, asked if I would be supportive and helpful as well. And so we were planning for Tony Robbins' birthday, and this affects everybody or many people on this line. So for Tony Robbins' birthday, it's on February 29th, and it's going to be out in California, in Los Angeles. And all he wants for his birthday as the greatest personal development speaker in the history of the planet, and somebody who's dedicated his life towards helping, supporting people. And for those that doesn't fully correlate, Tony is worth somewhere in the neighborhood, if you ask Alexa or Google, somewhere between $500 and $600 million and growing. He'll be a billionaire, not too terribly distant future. There is no way that Tony Robbins has to get up and do what he does for the amount of time and energy and effort and pouring out of his heart and soul. He's a true artist with the highest level of integrity in his craft and what he is doing, what he's up to. And it's absolutely remarkable to experience and see. And it's an absolute privilege and honor, to be a part of doing things here in that ecosystem in support of what he's up to. So all he wants in that space for his birthday is to end or save young people, adults, young girls, little boys, horrific insanity from sexual slavery. And it is such a pressing, insane, and exponentially growing problem because people who are in the drug trade have realized that you could sell a bag of drugs once. You can sell a sex slave 5 times a day. So it is shifting in the minds of people in the drug trade to something even more lucrative. It's about to pass the drug trade in terms of its gross revenue on the planet. I mean, just try to keep that in perspective, what's happening. And it's a kid going to Harvard. It's a child that's abandoned in the streets. It's kids in orphanages in other countries. It's a mom sitting in Kansas that gets kidnapped from a bar. Like, these are real stories, real people of complete insanity. And so that's what's happening, as it relates to his birthday. And I'm not at liberty to reveal the precise number, but it was a mind-blowing number that we ended up raising in that room of about 350 to 400 people yesterday, as just an extraordinary, mind-boggling raise, and with humility, but factually, the formula mattered. And I am confident that the number would have been more like a third if we didn't apply the formula. And if there's certain things that on stage I didn't do with the absolute support of Scott, and Scott Humphrey got the microphone, and it was the most unbelievable job I've ever seen Scott do of pouring out his heart with emotional, energetic transference. He was in tears. It was remarkable what was happening. And I was so grateful to him for the confidence and certainty he had in what I was doing. So just in terms of bolstering your understanding and belief in the formula, how do I go from not knowing any of these people? How do I go from, and we go from operating a business that if they're in a scarcity mindset, they could see as threatening and problematic. And yet there we are, co-creating on that stage again and again at all these different events now, ways to serve people, to end sex trafficking, support Tony's birthday. There's a ton of incredible people in that room. How is it that they're entrusting me as the person from the room who is going to get up and support and deliver, and who's going to create the structure and the trust? And so I am incredibly grateful that that is happening, and it says a ton about them. And it also says a ton about the formula and Unblinded and the growing relationship that we have. So I couldn't be more grateful for that. Now, what I did yesterday, I have the Calgary Christian Foundation. So I want to bring that out to the forefront. I'm a Christian, and I believe that Christianity is a religion of inclusion. And part of one of my pains in the world is, as you all know, I believe in language very, very powerfully. And I am very confident the media has had a full-on insane assault on what Christianity means for a long time. And that's not to say that there are not Christians who are not living by biblical principles. I'm certainly not a perfect Christian, and there's people doing horrific things in the name of Christianity without a shadow of a doubt. Okay, so I'm not saying that they're not. At the same time, the principles are principles of love, unconditional love. In fact, the first indispensable element of the formula is to love people unconditionally. And that comes directly from my faith, right, of loving people unconditionally. I do that imperfectly, for sure, but remember, it's not about yes or no, it's about where we're on the scale of mastery. So through my Calgary Christian Foundation and my commitments to tithing and giving, I made a very substantial donation last night. It was matched by a number of incredible people in that room, including Peter Diamantes from Abundance 360. So we were on stage together. Other incredible people came up on stage. We did a process where I was up there with Rick Teed, and then we invited all the hosts up and had a ton of host people come up, and then we invited people at different levels of giving up onto the stage. People crying. It like united the room. It was one of the most magical and incredible moments I've ever been blessed and privileged to be part of. Again, all in service of freeing people, because it costs $1,200 to free somebody from sexual slavery. That's the number. And if you boil down rescue attempts, buying people out, like all kinds of things, that's the number. So this is all going on in the room like crazy. And what I also did is, in addition to taking host slots, I bought 160 tickets. So and I'll happily buy more. So for everyone that is in the Unblinded Sales Mastery program, I bought my Calgary Christian Foundation and Unblinded has purchased a ticket for you to come to Tony Robbins' birthday. So we're going to put a system and process in place. But if you're in the Unblinded Sales Mastery program, please, you will have a ticket to come to Tony Robbins' birthday. And let's get there. We are going to, the morning after, we're going to have an ecosystem merger event, and I'm going to do a whole piece on public speaking. And it will be an incredible module for everybody to participate in. And that is going to be based on the incredible things we did with Fernando and Jen on the film the other night. I realized how much we can create in just a few hours in accelerating people's public speaking and doing some live training and bringing people in groups. So it is going to be an incredible trip. out to California for this. The celebrities, influencers, Ray Dalio will be there, Mark Benioff of Salesforce. And it's going to be insane night, but it's not about them. It's going to be about saving young women, and you will be blown away. And the level of gratitude it will create and present for our lives is beyond measure. And the people that will be there, and the speakers, and the stories, it will be a life to never forget. And it's standing for, and this is my own impression, for bringing Tony Robbins' life to light and disrupting what it means to be in personal development. And I'm confident that we are not here without his work impacting my life and the world. And so I'm excited to honor an incredible mentor of mine. I was blessed and privileged to have a couple minutes to chat with Tony yesterday, and he gave me a hug and told me he loved me twice and a big kiss on the cheek. And when you get a kiss on the cheek from Tony Robbins, it takes up half your face. So we have some pictures. Tony's head is like twice the size of mine. He is truly a giant of a human being. But it was an incredible and blessed and special moment. And Sage has been incredible. And, you know, our proximity and connection to them and what's happening is only growing. And I am in that world to serve. And in service, there is, you know, value and expansion for everything that we're doing, they're doing, you're doing, and it's a beautiful and incredible time. So please, February 29th, be outrageous, find a way to get there, room together, use this as ecosystem merger, getting your accountability groups, plan and get there. Plan and get there. Do outrageous things that seem impossible and make the decision, commit, and get out there. If you're not in the program yet, join the program and get a ticket to come out there as well. And we'll be doing some other things in addition to. Before I go to Jared, Fernando, I'd love to hear from Adam as well. Fernando, what is present for you, brother?
Oh, man. I feel like I'm floating on a cloud. I'm thinking of two things. One, I'm thinking about the fact that you said Elmer Fudd, and I'm proud that I knew who he was. Number two, I'm laughing at the thought of Tony Robbins kissing your face and being half your face, because that is so factual. So I was giggling at that. And three.
And by the way, you'll see those pictures today. I don't think the kiss is there, but Craig, I think, did incredible. I didn't even know he was doing it. People are taking pictures all the time now, which I feel weirded out by, but also grateful for, because, you know, in this situation at least, it captures, you know, a magical, special moment. There's one where Tony's arm is on my shoulder, my arm is on his, and I mean, he is gigantic. So it's incredible, definitely.
Yes. And, you know, just gratitude, you know, for you and for this. You know, I say it all the time. A couple years ago, through personal development work, Tony being an aspiration of this and many others, I realized my purpose to rewrite humanity. And that was a huge, you know, endeavor. And the truth is, I had no idea how I was going to do that. And through my work with you and my proximity to you, and more importantly, in my modeling of who you are on the world, you've given me the ability to figure out how I'm going to do that. And it's through language. And when you mentioned that when you expand, I expand, I feel it. Yesterday, when I found out that you might not be on the call, I was proud, because I know you, and if there's not something that you're doing to change the world, there's no way you'd miss the call. So the fact that you weren't on the call actually brought joy, because I didn't know what you were doing, but I trusted what you were doing. So thank you, as I choke up here.
And thank you, brother. And let me tell you, the formula equals, at the end, being in a place where you feel like you're having the biggest impact you can. And I can't donate money today, and every cause is incredible. So I'm not minimizing any cause, hear me. So I can't donate money, though, today and have blind people working tomorrow, right? Just tomorrow, literally. We can soon, and I'm going to continue to donate there. I can't donate money and get my vision back as a blind man. I just can't. We could donate money towards research, and continue to work and move forward, and it's a great cause to give to. I can't donate money tomorrow and end cancer. I can't donate tomorrow and end homelessness. You know, we can't do these things. I could donate money today, and within the month, have freed somebody from being a sexual slave, from having horrific, disgusting, horrible human beings doing the most vile, unthinkable things to them. We can stop that for a person with a $1,200 donation. like to think about the number of children that were saved, the number of girls that were saved, the number of little boys that were saved last night had everyone in the room in tears. And there's no way any of that happens unless I have the money to do that. And I don't have the money to do that without the formula. So the formula brings us the ability to impact the lives of others. And quite frankly, and it's why Wednesday, it's what drives me to use my talents. And I feel like if I don't, I have not done my job in my faith and as a human being on this earth to maximize my talents with the knowledge and wisdom of what I know about the formula to do things to impact the lives of others. I could go surfing. I can indulge myself continuously. I could do nothing but chill and create a business owner lifestyle completely and maintain it selfishly. So what kind of life would that be without contribution? So thank you, Fernando. Adam, you out there, brother?
Yes, I am. And
what's up, brother?
What's up, man? Amazing. And it made me think about it yesterday when you said it, and today you always talk about integrity-based human influence being the one superhuman power that you can have, and being a superhero. And when you say being a superhero, you think, oh, that's crazy. Like, what does that really mean? But when you think about what superheroes do, they save lives. And where else, and with what other skill can you save as many lives that you did last night in a moment with that ability to galvanize individuals around a cause with a superhuman power of integrity-based human influence and literally do what you did? So it just hit home. It's not just talk. It's real, and it gives me goosebumps to think about it.
No, thank you. And if we could, before we get to Jared, thank you, Adam. And brother, your heart is insane. Can we hear from a woman, like what's present for you? We haven't heard from any feminine energy, a woman's voice today. Is anybody out there that'd like to share what's present?
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Who's this?
This is Erica.
Hey, Erica.
Hi. So I'm like, when you just to think that like the generosity that you continue to have and the lives that you continue to change. And I think like, yeah, my life quote unquote sucked, ex-fiance stole my identity, filed for bankruptcy, dealing with an offer in compromise, whatever. All that is awful, right? Like I have trouble looking in the mirror and seeing a beautiful human many times. I go to listing appointments. I don't always get the deal signed. I want to be in California. I was told by my attorney, don't spend a lot of money, like, because I'm settling with the IRS, but I'm not a sex slave. Like, I'm like, this is like, I want to be in that room so badly because I just want to have that energy. But I think like, what, like it's $1,200. Like I can't physically make that donation because the IRS.
Oh, no, Erica, back up. You don't have to make a wait, I want to be clear. You do not have to make a $1,200 donation to go. You have a ticket. Like everybody who's in the program has a ticket. You just, get yourself there physically, but everybody has a ticket. And nobody needs to be able to make a donation. So I just want to make that clear. I was saying last night.
No, that was clear. I knew that, but I was like thinking, let's just say it financially because of what I was basically, I'm at a peak. Like right now, my attorney, the offer in compromise is in progress. Like spending money on getting places for me is not feasible in my own money, right? But that doesn't mean that that's not feasible in some other capacity. God, I think I have a snack coming out from my nose. Sorry, guys. Gross. Anyway, and I just think like, just to know that you care so much about us that you want us to be in that room and experience the impact we have as humans, and to be able to just see what we can't see, and this energy and however much money that you raised to save people's lives so that they can have a future that doesn't look like their past. I mean, it's just a gift. It's priceless. Like God put me here, and I'm just so blessed. And I know, I see, hear, feel, and know that there's a way that I will find a way to get there, so that I can experience that and then take that, because I'm creating a movement on how to go from trauma to triumph. And I know that this is part of it. And I'm just so blessed to be able to witness and be a part of this. And thank you.
Hey, Sean, I'm sorry to interrupt. I'll buy Erica a ticket to go. This is Dr. Roger Sahori. All right,
Roger.
So I will buy her a ticket to go. So if that's the issue, I will do it.
Roger, thank you, brother. That is amazing. And dude, you are incredible. Thank you, Roger.
Thank you.
Thank you, doctor.
Hey, Sean, can I share something?
Yes, please. So thank you, Roger.
Hi.
Dr. Roger Sahori, ladies and gentlemen. Who is this now speaking?
Hi, Sean. This is Martha.
Hey, Martha.
I just want to, oh, sorry, I'm like cooking something up. I want to share something with you before I like start tearing up. I just want to say thank you for what you're doing for the kids and the children. I've worked with kids my whole entire life since I was 15 years old and still do today. And my dream is to, you know, adopt one and change one kid's life, you know? So what you're doing is absolutely amazing. Ooh, and I want to say thank you before I like start crying, ugly crying. I want to say thank you, and I'm so lucky and proud of Fernando for being a part of what you're doing and for helping you out. And I'm like the proudest girlfriend in the world, and I want to say a million thanks to you and to everyone in the Unblinded group for being a part of that. I'm so proud to be here. So thank you.
Well, Martha, thank you. There's no ugly crying. There's only beautiful crying, and you are a beautiful and incredible soul. And Fernando is so blessed to have you in his life, and I am so blessed to have Fernando in my life, and the entire Unblinded team, and the entire Calgulaw team. Because without all these remarkable and incredible people, none of this is happening. So I get to score the touchdowns, and I am grateful for that, but I don't score the touchdowns without every single person in this process doing their part. And I'm hearing more and more and more as I'm out here about other people's names being said by other people, and they're beginning to know everyone, they're beginning to appreciate everyone, and it's a beautiful process that's occurring. So thank you, Martha. Thank you, Fernando. Thank you, everybody. Jared, what's up, brother?
Well, the chat is like just extraordinary. We'll export it and then read it to you later, Sean, because it's just that special. Amazing, everybody. This is what it looks like. I mean, like Sean said, when we say together, it's not just because it's fun, right? It's because that is what we're doing. Like when you said yes, whether you're on the morning huddles, whether you're in the Facebook group, whether you're in Mastery, whether you came to the immersion, whatever you've done up to this point, like when you said yes, you are no longer alone. Like that yes wasn't like just a word. That was you stepping in to a movement. And this is what it looks like. So Sean, amazing with what you've done. And I know, my friend, you are literally just getting started. Some fun housekeeping stuff. The Q&A from last night, I'm sure many of you want to see it. It is already live in its full version. And then at some point today, it'll also be live in the edited version, which means I think we answered about 12 questions yesterday. So there'll be 12 shorter videos that if there was like a certain question that you wanted to hear again, I would wait versus having to fast forward through the entire thing. But if you didn't see it, go take a look at it. It is there in the Pain and Yes strategy module. And there's also a transcription of the Q&A as well. In addition, we just made live the origin of integrity-based human influence. This is a 3-hour video, so just be aware of that. That is live. You will see that inside of the course, and there's a transcription as well. And that is it. I mean, that is like from like the beginning to where we are today. So it is all there for you. This is just cool. Sean, I said to Sean, I don't know, a few weeks ago, I said, Sean, I think you should record a video that talks about the origin of integrity-based human influence. And Sean said to me, how long should it be? And I'm like, however long it needs to be, Sean, like just tell the story. 3 hours later. And like, that's really cool, everybody. I mean, like Sean is really busy, like to spend like 3 hours going to like day one and then having it get to today, because no one knows that story, like to that degree, like no one, like at all. Like right now, Fernando's probably the only one because he's on the video with him and no one has really seen it yet. That's so cool. So spend some time. This is going to be like a family activity, like a Valentine's date night. Like watch this and really understand like where this came from and what you're stepping into. This is exciting. So with that, we appreciate everybody. Yeah, sorry.
Jared, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I know you guys are really wrapping up, and I've just been listening. It's Craig.
Hey, go for it, Craig.
Hey, what's going on? Real quick, I know that you guys are ending off and everything like that, and I really just needed to come on, and I heard everybody, and I heard Sean, and I heard you guys, and I just needed to come on and speak, tell you guys one more second out loud, 1,000%. This seminar that we're at, the amount of information that's being poured at us, like the metaphor, it really is like drinking from a fire hose in every different aspect of finances and connections and ecosystem mergers going on. It's just nonstop. What Sean did last night, Sean and Mary and all the people that got up on that stage did last night when we were standing there watching this clip of the video to learn what was going on and the people that are involved in this project. Everybody in that room, there was, you could hear a pin drop. Everybody was their breath was just held back. And when Sean and Mary and everybody started getting people, and Scott started getting people to donate and be a part of all this, the amount of energy that came pouring out of every single person in that room to watch what was happening, to watch those staggering numbers just continue to rise and rise and rise. It was absolutely unfathomable how great the impact was on the people in that room, the fact that there was going to be such an impact in that world for those kids. And I just needed to express that.
Craig, thank you. And I am very comfortable that even at giant events with 15,000 people, events with 5,000 people, that what happened in that room with between 350 and 400 people last night, that there was an unparalleled raise of money in the entire history of the Tony Robbins ecosystem. I don't have that as a final actual yet, but I am very clear on what the numbers have been, and I know what happened last night. I am positive that is the most raised ever, and it is because of the formula. And I'm not saying because of me, because of everybody living in the formula. Like not even knowing the formula. That's what happened. Like Scott Humphrey being in his heart with the greatest level of emotional energetic transference I've ever seen. Like it's what happens. So thank you for that, Craig.
My pleasure. And that's what Scott did. Scott also fell apart after we came back in and gave you a hug. And he said, I cannot believe that just happened. Those are the words that came out of Scott's mouth. Yeah. That I cannot believe that something like that. We were actually able to do something like that.
Yeah. Hugging me, crying. I mean, it was unbelievable. And me crying was just insane. So, and I also want to acknowledge Rob Gill for taking a host spot. I want to acknowledge Craig. Craig dug enormously deeply and gave from his heart immense sacrifice. And I'm going to tell you this, what Craig did in donating and sacrificing last night was more proportionately than I did. So Craig, you are a hero for what you did last night, brother.
Sean, that literally means the world to me. And it really does mean the world to me coming from you, and I'm so grateful that I had the opportunity to even be in proximity to that, much just be a part of.
A hero for how you're shown up in this place and your support of me and Unblinded here. I can't even possibly thank you enough, and I'm looking forward to seeing you later, brother.
I will see you later, Sean, and everybody. Thank you so much for showing up and being a part of my life and allowing me to be in proximity to you as well, because this really does make the world of a difference in every aspect of our lives.
Awesome. Hands in, hands in. Today is one of those days for sure. Hands in, hands in. Take yourself off mute. Take yourself off mute. Sean, is there anything you want to say before we put our hands in?
No, let's do it. And I'm gonna say to everybody, if you whatever volume you normally go at, just take it to one more level of volume for today as you say it together.
Cool. Take yourselves off mute. Just hit that little button right there. Take yourselves off mute. Still have some mutes. Tiffany, you could actually unmute everybody in one button if you're on here. Unmute all. All right, here we go. 1, 2, 3. Together.
Together. For sure.
Happy together.
Well, have an amazing day.
Man, thanks
amazing,
for
Sean. Thank you.
Awesomeness. How did you call that?
Erica, please private message me.
Okay.
Okay.
You guys remember to be a hero to somebody, and remember to be your own hero. You guys.
Love and appreciate you all. God bless.
We hate to leave this meeting, but off I go. Have a wonderful day.
Hi.
Yep.